We came here to this place, no matter if we are monks or if we are lay people, to practice. And there's one thing, especially when we come from the West, before we can practice or before we can go deeper in our practice, that is the development of generosity, respect and gratitude. Generosity, being generous with the things that we have or that we own or that we possess, letting go of these things is much easier than letting go of our views and opinions. And if you remember what the Lord Buddha said about the path of practice, it is easier as a single person to fight a whole army than to fight oneself. And what is oneself? It is our view of who we are, what we are, what we think about this and what we think about that and what we think about, for instance, the Buddhist sasana or the Buddhist religion. What is our interpretation of the Dhamma? What is what we think about what the Lord Buddha said or what he not said, our interpretation of it, and these things we all have to let go. We have to give up. And that's why the development of generosity is very, very important. And it starts with the material possessions that we have, and it's much easier than the mental possessions, our mental attitudes, our mental views and opinions. I hope you understand this. It is necessary for us to be here at this place. If we have not been generous in the past, in our past lives, we wouldn't be able to stay here, or not stay for a long time. I hope you understand this. Generosity needs to be developed even when we are here. We have to be generous. We have to be generous also with our time. When there is some work that needs to be done to keep the monastery afloat, then we have to help. It's not our right, that we come here to this monastery. We don't have any right. No matter if we are monks or lay people, we don't have any right to stay here. It is because of our good karma that we can stay here, and it is because of our good behavior that we can stay here. And it is because of our generosity, that it's not only the material things, but it is also our helpfulness towards the things that are necessary to maintain this monastery. Respect is the second part. Most of the time, especially when we come from the West, we respect ourselves and we respect a few people. I often talk about it. If we can't respect animals, if we can't respect all human beings, we don't have respect. And we need this kind of respect. Especially we need the respect towards the Dhamma and towards the people who preach the Dhamma or teach the Dhamma. Otherwise, how can we progress? If we respect just ourselves and think, have views and opinions about others, this is not good, that is not good, what he is doing is not good, what that person is doing is not good, that is views and opinions. We have to respect each person, no matter if he's good or no matter if he's bad, as a human being, because coming into the human life means we have the karma to come back as a human being, and each being that is born as a human being had the good karma to come back. And that means he had kept the 5 precepts. And keeping the 5 precepts, you can consider this to be a good person. Keeping the 5 precepts for enough time so that he can come back as a human being. So each human being that is on this earth, no matter if he's really good or no matter if he's really bad, we can respect him as a being. The same holds true for all these animals that are around us and for all the other beings, no matter where they are. Respect them. And especially respect the Lord Buddha. There's nobody that is cleverer and has more experience in the Dhamma than the Lord Buddha. We, with our limited experience, but with our so much knowledge, think this is not good, that is not good, this I don't like, that I don't like, this I like and that I like. This is not respecting the Dhamma of the Lord Buddha, and it is not respecting Lord Buddha. How many eons of times has he gone through, one life after another, training himself to become a Buddha? Have you done that? If you have not done that, if you have not done this amount of practice, then don't look down. Don't look down on any kind of teaching of the Lord Buddha, and don't look down on the Lord Buddha himself. Just because he was born 2,500 years ago doesn't mean that we are cleverer because now we have all these universities, we have all these books, and nowadays we have all this internet, where we can find out anything. The Lord Buddha didn't need the internet, didn't need the books. At the time of the Lord Buddha there were no books. He got it all from his own heart, and he found the truth within his own citta. And that's what we should do. We should find the truth, and that truth that we find within our own citta is not different from any of the arahants that have lived through the times, and is not different from the Lord Buddha himself. It's always the same truth. Respect is something that is very difficult for us to develop. We like a person, so we respect him. We dislike a person, so we disrespect him. We like a person, so we might look up to him, and we dislike a person, so we look down on him. So develop this respect, because sooner or later in your practice, if there is not enough respect in your heart, you will stumble, or you will come to a hindrance that you cannot overcome. Know that this is one of the hindrances that you will have to overcome through practicing respect, through practicing generosity, and through practicing gratitude, the third virtue. Lots of people are not really grateful. Think about this monastery. And that includes the monks and the mechis and all of the lay practitioners. Without, and listen very careful, without the generosity of the lay people who come here every day, bring us food, we wouldn't be able to have a place and practice. Without the generosity of the lay people who donated this land, who donated the money or the buildings for all the buildings that we have here in this monastery, we wouldn't be able to sit here and practice. So, this kind of gratitude, especially when we come also from the West, we don't have it. We think it is our right to be here. We think, we have the right to come here to this monastery. Yes, of course you can come here, but you don't have the right to come here. And we should always remember especially when you sit in the morning, in front of your food, remember that lay people actually work hard to provide the food that we eat. Work hard to provide the kutis or the sala or whatever we need, in terms of electricity, in terms of water. They provide it for us so that we can be free of worries about our livelihood and only practice. And that also means this kind of gratitude. You should use every moment of your time that you have here, starting in the morning, when you wake up, not to turn around and sleep on the other ear, but to get up, do walking meditation, do sitting meditation, do walking meditation until the end of the day when you go and sleep. That is this place. This monastery is for this kind of practice only. And that is what we should remind ourselves every morning when we eat the alms. You remember alms, begging for alms, the alms food that is brought to us, no matter by the monks or by the lay people, and the monks get it from the lay people by walking down the village and waiting for the food to be placed in their boats. So we should remember this every morning when we look at the food. Not being overcome by the greed. This food I like, this food I don't like. Why is there not this food? Why is there not that food? But reflecting about the generosity of these people, of these lay people who have a hard life. Look at the village. Look at the people who come. They have to work hard to be able to afford to give alms to us. To be able to afford to give alms to us. And we live off this. We live off this generosity of the lay people. And that's why it is such a serious infringement of the precepts if we don't use the time that we have, be it as monks or be it as lay people, for our practice. And a practice of a monk or a lay person who stays here in the monastery is a practice of samadhi and panya, and of course sila. Sila, samadhi, panya. And that means it is the practice of walking meditation, then sitting meditation and standing meditation, and then walking again, sitting again, or standing again, whatever it is. Your character is predisposed. So whatever your characteristic tendencies are, you prefer to walk or you prefer to sit, and some people prefer to stand. So you use this, because we live on the generosity of the lay people. We live here every day. And that is what you should reflect upon in the morning when you see the food coming in. Not what you want or what you dislike, what is missing, and so on. Why is there so little, or why there? Now, we should reflect on these people, have a look at these people, because they work day and night to earn a living, and they are so generous to part with parts of their living that they earn every day to give to us. And this has to sink into our heart. And then some of us, demand this and demand that and demand that from the lay people. That's not okay. So remember this very well. That is all what I want to say today. Yeah. รู้ไหมเข้าใจฟังในใจไม่รู้เรื่องเลยค่ะไม่รู้เรื่องไม่เป็นไรฟังเสียงอย่างเดียวแล้วเสียงเกิดในใจมาอยู่ในใจก็มันสงบในที่เดือน